Other calls. Gemma's in Cambridge. Gemma, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Hi there. Good morning, Nick.
Hi, Gemma.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Gemma.
Hi, Keir. Thanks for having me on. It's wonderful to speak with you. So I'm actually calling about something that happened a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you heard it in the news, the booing at Millwall.
Oh.
My husband was actually there as part of the spectators, and he joined in the booing. He has since been clumped and labelled as a racist. But if you just bear with me, because I'm sure we're probably quite ignorant about the whole thing. So I'm just interested to hear.
Well, can I ask you, and then I promise you, Sir Keir will talk. Have you asked your husband why he booed?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say? I mean, I'd ask you not to use any offensive language if that's where we're going. But
No. Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm sure we're quite ignorant about the whole thing. But in the wake of organisations like BLM and other racial advocacy groups pushing what's best for their people, I just want to ask, should white people also start playing identity politics now before they become a minority themselves by 2066?
Don't go, Sir Keir.
Gemma, I don't think it was right to boo. There's no getting away from that. I really don't think it was the right thing to do.
Do you agree with freedom of expression, that people have the right to do that?
Yeah, of course I agree with freedom of expression, but that is also the freedom for me to say I think it's the wrong thing to do. And I do. And
Let's just hear from Sir Keir. I will come back to Gemma.
I'm really struck, actually, that most, I think pretty well all clubs, all fans across the piece are applauding the taking of the knee. Certainly all the clubs that I've seen are applauding that. I think Millwall was an outlier in that respect. I think it was wrong. But I think it also, what this represents is a recognition of injustice that has gone on for many, many years in relation to racial inequality. And it's come to a head this year, as everybody knows. And we just need to hold on to that, because I think actually most people feel that where there's an injustice, it needs to be put right. And that's what is signalled by taking the knee, and the players and the referees very often take the knee. And I think that's what it's symbolic of.
I mean, even Les Ferdinand, who you'll probably know, just to remind my listeners, was a very successful football player, happens to be a black fellow himself. He's now the first black man to be a director of football. He's with the Championship Queen's Park Rangers, and he says it is hollow. It's like a fancy hashtag or a lapel. It's his achieving nothing.
Well, I don't think that's right. I think the
he's
counter...
a black man who played football for England. I mean, he's in a position of knowledge, isn't he?
No, he is, of course, and I respect his view, of course. It doesn't mean I agree with it. I think that what's happened over the many years, this is the counter-argument, it's quite a powerful one, is that there is racial inequality, there is injustice, and from time to time it becomes an issue, it's looked at for a few weeks, and then it goes away. And this is an attempt to keep the focus on it until things really change.
Hasn't the round now focused just on taking the knee? And the important issue of getting black managers, black directors of football, black chairmen or chairwomen of clubs, I mean, that's been lost because we just take the knee. So
no, I don't think it's one or the other. I think you can do both, and it's a way of drawing attention to it. But, in the end, it's for each individual to decide how they want to tackle injustice.
Gemma, why did your husband... Sorry, you didn't quite explain, if I may go there again. Why did he choose to boo, sorry?
Because if anything, the racial inequality is now against the indigenous people of Britain, because we are set to become a minority by 2066. And taking the knee, bringing the political sphere into the football arena, and we just have to look across to the Middle East. Israel has a state law that they are the only people in that country to have self-determination. Well, why can't I, as a white British female, have that same right?
Final point to you on this, Sir Keir.
But Gemma, we all have those rights. This is about recognising some injustice that's gone on for a very, very long time. And I think people were genuinely moved this year and want to make sure that injustice is dealt with. And, people will look at it different ways, but I think the vast majority of people do want a more equal society.
Gemma, thank you. To other calls.